So there's the Q2 that I built. That tender I borrowed it from a mallet. I put flat black vinyl over the decal that was on it just for now. I was gonna build my own tender, but I'm actually just gonna get another mallet tender. The only difference is like the length and where the doghouse is on the top. It's not a big deal to me. I'll just stop it right here. So I put some decals on it. I gave it the number 6131. I striped around the windows. I put a whistle in there and some valves. Those are actually resistors I cut in half, painted them gold and glued them in there. There's the headlight I did earlier, and the Pennsylvania badge with the 6131. Nice crisp lettering. If you look at the headlight, you'll see 6131 on the side. It actually lights up. I don't know if you can see it. See it glow? It gets the light from the headlight. This whole thing is homemade. The only thing that's not is the lens. The lens I pulled out of a Tyco. Spirit of 76 that the drivetrain is non-existent. I only had a shell. It was a dummy. I'm never going to change. I'm never going to put anything in it, so I stole the headlight out of it. These are green LEDs. I made these little pods. They're glued in there, so they light up as well. As you can see, they work pretty good. Now the tender has a reverse light in it that flickers on and off because it's only getting one wheel contact for the positive for the fireman side of the rail. The wire broke off the extra set of wheels, so it flickers a little bit because of the connection. I'm not worried about that. This train does not have the pulling power that my other trains do. It's only 3 wheels on 3 axle drivetrain. 2 of them have tires on them. It should be a little bit better. I do have to play with the weight. I have to get enough weight in there that it won't tip over when it goes around the corner, but that it'll actually have traction. The rear set of drivers is not where there's a tire. It's not sitting down on the track as hard as it should be. Right there, it's just, there's not enough weight. And the motor is here, so I have to basically put weight on top of the transmission, and there's not that much room because the shaft is sticking up so high. I have to cut the shaft off. When I put that transmission together, I knocked the shaft upward so the drive shaft, the Berkshire drive shaft would work, because there wasn't a lot of room between the drive shaft, the transmission, and the truck. It was about 1/4 of an inch shorter than the thickness of the Berkshire frame. I don't know if you follow me, but so I took the drive shaft apart and the transmission, I pressed the shaft, which would be upward. So when you look at the transmission, the shaft is sticking out about 1/4 of an inch. I didn't cut it when I first did it because I didn't know if it was going to work or not. So it does work. So my next step is to probably cut that off and mount a block of lead to the top of the drive shaft somehow that pivots with the rear truck. That's the issue that I'm having. All the weight is here, and so these rear wheels are barely touching the track. So basically I'm off of one tire right now. I might find another way of doing it. I don't know. But for now, it'll pull 20 cars pretty good. Struggles going up the hill, pulling them. So it's not the greatest puller right now, but we'll get to that. But anyway, let's just operate it and we'll see how it runs. Other than a squeaky wheel somewhere that needs to be oiled, she's pretty quiet. Her low speed's pretty good. Not as good as I'd like. That is a 3-pole motor. I have not put a 5-pole motor in it yet. It's a 3-pole motor and it's not even skew wound. So, considering all that, I think she's okay. But anyway, we'll just run it around a little bit. I haven't tested it through here yet, so I don't know if one of the freight cars will derail. Some of them will, because the coupling on the car is attached to the car and not the truck, so it doesn't have as much movement. And that is a horrible thing to do to a train, put it through an S-curve like that. She did make it through though. If you ask me, that's just dumb luck. The train goes through it, no problem. The drivetrain has plenty of play in it. This train might even run on a 15 radius. I don't own any 15-inch radius, but it might run on a 15-inch radius. Not sure. Keep in mind the front drivers are just free spinning. There is no drivetrain on there. That may change in the future. I do have the section of frame that I cut off from the big boy that would allow me to put a transmission in it. I don't think I really have the room. And I really don't think it's necessary. I gotta switch this track here. Here we go. I don't know, where are you? That was not the train stutter, and that was me taking it easy. Coming out of the S loop, S turn. I did not know if one of the cars were going to derail or not. A little bit of wheel. See the slipping? Slipping right there. My other trains don't do that. Not with only pulling 16 to 17 cars that don't slip. But like I said, this has got limited traction. I'll have to work on that. The slow speed isn't perfect. I think that's about as good as it's going to get with this chassis. I mean, with that motor. I think if I put a 5-pole in there, I might have a little bit of low end, a little bit more low end torque. Less RPM, more torque. I kind of like the speed that it goes. I really don't know if I want to slow it down or not. I mean, it's realistically, has anybody seen a rivarossi go that fast? The speed of this train is unrealistic. Maybe I should just put a 5-pole motor in it. If anybody actually watches this video and listens to what I'm saying, comment. Because, I mean, realistically, these trains went, I think, 50, 60 miles an hour top speed. That thing is flying. The S1 and the T1, those trains were fast. This train wasn't supposed to be fast, so maybe I should just put a 5-pole motor in it and call it a day. I don't know. I'm like I'm an old kid. I like fast. I like going through the corners so fast that I have to slow down or I'm going to rip it off the rails. To me, it's fun. Anyway, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I mean, I built this thing in a week. From start to finish, I think 6 or 7 days. Working on it at night till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, drive my wife nuts. I get obsessed when I'm building something. I don't want to stop until it's finished. I really wish I owned my own home, and that way I could build a real layout instead of one that's sitting on the floor. But it was the only way I could have a big layout, because as you know, if you stick a table, you can't walk on a table. This thing here I can walk around if I have to. And it's solid. You can't move anything. Everything is, it's not screwed down. That's final wrap holding the track down to a base that I put over the subfloor. Some of it's foam board, some of it's cardboard, some of it's old linoleum. And I wrapped over it to make everything look green, just so I wouldn't look at an ugly floor. But sooner or later, Mr. Landlord's going to want to sell this house, and I'm going to have to take this all up. Hopefully I'll be looking for my own house by then. was at 40% throttle. It's at 45 right here. Well, I think that's about it for now. I think the train got a little bit of a workout, which is what it needed. Still a few more things to do to it. This will probably be the last one I built for a little bit. I'm gonna start saving up some parts and some dough and find another train to build. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. I appreciate it. Have a good night.